can feel it down in my plums. When I hear a sound, a rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in.
Welcome back to Let the Boys Watch, an entertainment
no,
podcast brought to you by Greg Productions. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Robbie, and on this week's episode was Oscar Week Part 2, the finale. The winner of Oscar Week Part 2 was the 2024 drama Sing Sing, which has earned the Best Actor nominee for Colman Domingo, as well as Best Adapted Screenplay nomination. Sing Sing was written by Clint Bentley and Greg Kwedar, based on the book Sing Sing Files by John Richardson and Breaking the Mummy's Code by Brent Buell. Sing Sing was directed by Greg Kwedar. Sing Sing stars Colman Domingo, Clarence Maclin, Sean San Jose, Paul Raci, David Garrotti, Patrick Griffin, Missy Eagle, James Williams, and Sean Dino Johnson. Alongside me is the Cuz. Cuz, how we feeling?
Feeling good. No place else I'd rather be than with you two fine gentlemen tonight.
Please. Same. And alongside the Cuz and myself, good friend, co-host Ryan, how you feeling?
All right. A little sick,
All right.
a little tired,
Well,
but hey, I'm here, aren't I?
sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Yes,
Tell me about it.
every day.
Please.
Robbie, how you feeling?
Oh, better than ever. Like I'm 22 again.
Nice.
Psych. Never been better, though. Never been better. We're alive. We're in Trump's America and we're alive, baby.
It's like, so yeah, like Robbie said, this is Let the Boys Watch, and we watch movies that typically one or all of us haven't seen. We usually put up a group of movies based on, in this case, nominated for an Oscar, for a vote. But we'll do, actors, specific directors, themes, whatever. Put it up for a vote on Instagram. So make sure you're following us there. Let the Boys Watch Pod, and send us an email, ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know, I don't know, if there's specific movies you want us to watch, what we missed on a certain movie, maybe checking out one of our old episodes. We got like 100 of them. So yeah, send us a message, email, on Instagram. I don't know, send us a telegram, singing telegram, smoke signals, whatever you want. Get in touch with us. Let us know what you think, what we should do. And Benny, please tell them where else they should leave comments and let us know we're doing something stupid.
Yeah, we would love for you to join us on the YouTube. If you aren't already, please subscribe. You can click the notification bell below, leave us comments. If you click that notification, if you click that bell, you'll get our videos pop up on your homepage every time you log in. You're not going to get any intrusive emails or anything like that. It's just the best way for you to find out when we post a new video. We'd love for you to join us. We're building a great community. Sometimes we get yelled at by middle-aged women, and sometimes we get gibberish comments. So, I mean, how could you not want to be a part of that? Join us over at YouTube. Let the Boys Watch.
The best. So, I mean, Sing Sing just came out, as we all know, because we found out that we had to pay for it, which wasn't awesome. What are you gonna do? Hey, maybe we should have done some research first. We'll be better next time.
It wouldn't be Going Great Productions if we did any research.
No, if we just flew by the seat of our pants. 2 seconds, we could have figured that out.
Yeah, we almost put up a poll last week with a movie that we couldn't even get. So
Yeah. But I think it's safe to say none of us have seen Sing Sing, correct?
correct.
All right.
Correct.
Did anyone have, since we all haven't seen it, did anyone have any, I don't know, thoughts going into it? Did you want to see it? I think, Benny, you were like the hottest on wanting to see it. So what were you thinking going into this?
So yeah, full disclosure, I went to high school and was friends with the director of photography of this movie, Pat Scola.
What?
Yeah, so
You didn't tell us that.
I know.
The fuck?
I wanted to leave it as a little surprise.
You little fuck.
So yeah, I was excited to watch this one. He mentioned, he's been going back and forth with me a little bit on Instagram when we post our polls every week, when we post our scores, just kind of like picking my brain, getting the opinion of the lowly, movie watcher that I am. So it's been nice kind of reconnecting with him through that. When we posted our poll last week, or the week before, I should say, the first Oscar week, he was really saying we should watch it. And I said, yeah, it's been on mine and my wife's list. So happy that it won this week. I was really excited to watch this one.
Um, A, you think he'll come on the show?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, depending on our scores this week, I didn't want to blindside him with Robbie giving a 5.5 because he had to pay
God
$20
damn it.
I
for
know.
it.
I'm gonna have to change my. No, I'm just kidding.
But no, yeah, I want to, reach. Listen, I don't want to bother nobody,
No,
especially
I understand.
that's super busy and kind of one of those relationships that just we grew apart over the years, so didn't want to bug him with, hey, come do our podcast that has 45 views every week. But I think, yeah, if we do another
Well,
one of his
that.
movies, yeah, he did the movie Pig. I don't know if either of you guys saw that with Nick Cage.
Yeah,
So I'm thinking maybe if we end up watching that movie in the next couple months, we'll invite him on.
yeah.
I was
I
thinking
mean,
of a different movie, Pig. I thought it was the movie that I saw you at the pizzeria a couple weeks ago.
that was Pig too. That was the prequel.
The oinking.
Yeah.
Um.
Pig.
Well, I'm sure he's busy with Oscar season. He's probably got to fly out there or whatever. And also, B, I don't feel so bad paying for this movie because maybe he'll get a little scratch.
I hope so.
Be nice. I
Oh.
did read that. I don't know as far as like, directors like the crew, but I know a good portion of the people on the film each had like a piece. Like, so it was like
Oh,
a
really?
collective. So I guess if this movie does well financially, then that benefits everyone. So hopefully he got, I don't know, $3 out of my 25. So it'd be nice.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. At least a couple cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I'm not happy that I had to pay. So, I mean,
No.
but other than that, congratulations. And, the fact that the cuz kept this a secret, didn't let him know he knew famous people, whatever. But that's just what the cuz does.
You know
Typical,
me.
typical cuz.
Playing my cards close to the vest, as always.
I can't believe it. And guess what? It's 45 views. Guess what? 45 views more than somebody else that didn't even start.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's tough.
And that's low. We get more than that on videos. So
Listen, I'm
don't sell
nothing
us
if
short.
I was gonna say I'm nothing if not self-deprecating. So sorry.
It's true.
Like I said last week, I'll do the shuffle for views. Just let me know when and where.
All right, gonna have to try to beep that out. So
Damn it.
Damn, I said my name. Yeah, God damn it.
I'll beep it.
Yes.
Yeah, I can beep it. Robbie, any thoughts going into this film? Did you want to see it? What were your thoughts?
Again, I'm really trying to live by Benny's mantra and motto. It's just stop watching trailers. But I already went back and I watched I think it's Mickey 17, watched that trailer. Just saw I think the trailer with Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson, watched that. So I
I
mean,
watched that too.
yeah. But I gotta stop. I don't know why I'm doing it. But so I was thinking that this was something totally different. I thought it was a prison drama that didn't involve anything I thought it was like Sing Sing prison, which I think they were actually in or what it was about, the prison system over there. So I thought it was like just a prison drama. I didn't think it had anything to do with putting on plays and productions like that and acting. So I was quite surprised at that. Yeah, I definitely thought it was more like an Oz, right? Like a prison drama like that. I was like, can't wait. I said people getting shanked. I'm all in. I didn't know people were going to be doing Macbeth, halfway through. So it took me by surprise. But I do love. I haven't seen him in a lot, but I do love Colman Domingo, and I think he was great in this movie. So, but I won't go too deep into it. But I was pleasantly surprised by some acting performances. I was happy to see my main man Paul Raci on the screen. Loved him in The Sound of Metal. Thought he was absolutely out of this
Yeah.
world in The Sound of
You watched
Metal.
that movie?
Yeah,
That movie
A
was
plus
awesome.
plus. Yeah, he was like a triple A plus. You know, fantastic. So I love him. So it was nice to see him as well. And there were some bit players in this movie that definitely were great as well. So pleasantly surprised. Thought it was going to be something different. Definitely prison drama, but you know, happy to see this kind of story.
Yeah, kind of same as you. Like I wasn't sure what we were getting. And yeah, I prefer going into a film like that. I knew Benny was and Mrs. Benny were hot on it, so I assumed it was something cool. So yeah, I wasn't that upset forking over 25 bucks. And now maybe someone I know who knows got a few bucks out of it. Um, yeah,
Yeah, like I
bro.
said, like sorry, it's
No, go ahead.
like like it's better than spending 20 bucks on a pack of smokes. So
I don't know.
you're gonna
You bite your tongue.
Pack of
at
smokes and
least
a
one thing, at
coffee.
least one thing give us cancer. Well, yeah, one's not gonna give us cancer. So Sing Sing is not gonna give us cancer.
No, no. But does it give you that cool refreshment like a cig?
Does it open your bowels right up? No, no, it doesn't.
Uh, all right. Overall impressions. Anyone want to start?
You want to go reverse? Let's draft it. Go start us off, Ryan.
All right. And before we do that, I didn't say it before, but we'll get to all our segments. Don't worry. If you're a first timer, we got some segments coming up, but we'll do this. We'll do our scores, segments, play a couple games. All right. I'm off my game today, but overall impressions, I did like this movie. Um, I, um, I think not knowing, and then like in the end, when you find out, like, oh wow, like not all, but a good portion of the people in this film are not professional actors. They're the actual people. Um, you know, like was kind of not shocking, but I was just like, oh, all right. And then you kind of do a little research after, and it definitely changed my perception of the movie a little bit. And also like kind of made me want to watch it again just to kind of like, I don't know, look at it with the different lens. Because during it, I enjoyed it, but I was kind of like, it seems a little amateur-ish. Not amateur, that's not the right word for it, but it was kind of just like I don't know how to even say it, but just like not up to like a theatrical movie standards. Like it kind of felt like an IFC film or like just like a like and I want to say like straight to video because it's not like it's corny or cheesy. It just felt like there wasn't a lot of production dollars behind it, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And I did read that it was filmed in I think like 18 days or something like that. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but it was a short time frame. So, best take. All right, we got to move on. But I did enjoy it. It was good. I like that it's a true story. I love a good true story. Maybe they took some liberties, but just, the whole idea of it. I did have I don't know. I have a couple problems with it, but overall, I wasn't mad that I spent money on it. Put it that way. So,
Okay. Rob?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, the only thing I didn't really like was the director of photography who was kind of trash. But other than that, no. I do love. I don't know if it's all A24 movies, but I do love the grainy effect of like how you're watching the movie. The way it was filmed, I did enjoy that. I did love the. It's not a redemption story because potentially it could be, but I just love that these people are put in here. Some did some crimes, some heinous crimes. Others are in there for various other reasons. But I do love that just because they're in there, they might hate the system or they might hate the world, but they're gonna find ways to kind of occupy that time and make things better. And I enjoyed that. There's a lot of scenes that I did enjoy. There are a lot of scenes that were pretty emotional that I really did love. Um, I see people saying that, they're upset that it wasn't nominated for Best Picture. I don't know. I mean, I mean, if Amelia Perez is, I guess, then who knows? I haven't seen that, but I'm just saying.
I've heard
Um,
it's
yeah. But again, like I thought it was good. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great. Again, some of the performances, knowing that they were like the real people, definitely changed my opinion of it. I didn't know that kind of while I was watching it. So I was like, yeah, some of these guys really, their acting skills aren't up to par. But then you find out that these are like the real people. But again, like I said, Colman Domingo, that he's, him and Paul Raci far and away were like just the best actors on the movie set. But again, it's a great story. Some emotional scenes, nice redemption arc for some characters. I love a good redemption arc, and I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't think it was super duper great. Would I watch it again? Maybe, but I wasn't blown away. But I really did enjoy it.
I definitely enjoyed it. I think probably more than the both of you. I was really like locked into this movie the whole entire time. Like I just felt connected with it. I don't know, like if it was really emotional, like you guys mentioned. Um, to me, this is the kind of thing that I love about A24 movies. It's just that they find these movies that are off the beaten path and different than what you see a lot. Um, and they take chances with things like this. And as soon as the movie starts, and we got that tighter aspect ratio, and you could tell that they've shot it on film right off the bat. I'm like, a lot of love went into this movie, and a lot of care, and a lot, just making a choice like that. Like it's so easy to just shoot in ultra high def, and just go with the stock and standard that every other movie shoots with. So to see anytime I feel like a movie makes a choice like that, you get a little bit of buy-in from me, because it just shows like the amount of care, like I said, that went into the movie. Um, so yeah, I enjoyed the story. I knew a little bit about it. I knew that it was about actors in prison. I don't know if it was, I thought maybe it was an ex-convict that went in and was like working with them. I didn't know that Divine G's character was, still in prison. I thought that any lack of acting skills that the other characters had was by far and away made up for by Domingo Coleman. He's just unbelievable in this movie. This is the first thing I've seen him in, and he was incredible. I think part of the reason that really sold me on watching this movie was that actor on actor I talked about last week with he did with Kieran Culkin. So just seeing like their kind of the way they played off each other in that interview, and like him talking about his methods and the way he was, like that's what kind of made me want to watch this, and I wasn't disappointed at all. There's so many good movies, and it just bounces between like comedy and drama, and it's fun at some points, and it pulls on your heartstrings at other, and it doesn't fall into any of the tropes of any other prison movie where like I thought there was going to be, okay, the prison fight and the guards that were unnecessarily dicks for no reason. I read a couple of things. It might have actually been something that Pat got interviewed for, talking about just Sing Sing in general, how different of a prison it is, where like there's all this natural light, which is nice, but also kind of a tease in a way, because you can see all these things right outside all these windows, like this beautiful landscape that you're never going to be able to see again or touch. So there's just, I don't know, there's a lot that went into this movie, and I feel like it was layered on so many different levels. And I thought the story was good. And like I said, you can't beat this is one of those performances that you're going to think about for a while. And that's how I feel about Domingo Coleman in this movie. So I enjoyed it a lot.
I do
good.
think that Domingo Coleman might be a catcher for the Padres, and
What is it?
Coleman Domingo might be the actor from Sing
Didn't
Sing.
you said it first? You said it first that way, didn't you?
No, I said Coleman Domingo.
Did I? Sorry. I don't know.
If I said it first, on me, hand
Hand
up
up.
on me if I
Because I
messed up.
thought I was coming in saying it the other way, and then I thought I heard you say it the other way, and I switched it up. But hand
Maybe I
up.
did say the other. Hey, look, maybe I
Hand
did
up.
say it,
Hey,
so maybe
hey, no disrespect.
no. Hey, look at me, and I'm gonna look at you.
Yeah.
If I said it, hand up, man up,
Listen,
me.
wouldn't be my first embarrassing mistake on the podcast. So hey, that's why we say that we're three idiots reviewing movies. So
And
Well,
what do we know?
I think Coleman Domingo has a show on Netflix. I think that just came out recently. I think it's a little series of that I heard was pretty good. So I definitely would be willing to check that out in the near future.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty good, actually. I forgot what the premise is, but I think it's something that everybody would enjoy.
I mean, Ryan, you mentioned that this was shot in 18 days. I think it was like shot super quick in between the movie he did, Rustin and The Color Purple. So
Okay.
like,
Yeah, was
and
it? It was shot like a couple years ago, I think. Like it's been kicking around a little bit.
yeah, yeah. So I definitely, I mean, I haven't seen those other two movies, but I know obviously they're going to be different characters. So I can't imagine like bouncing around projects like that and then and giving such a incredible performance like this, just kind of like tucked in between these other two movies.
All right. Yeah.
Shout out Colman Domingo.
Yeah, no, he was obviously you could just tell by far and away one of the better actors on the screen.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and I was just sitting here while you guys were talking, thinking like, I use the word amateur, and that's not what I want. That's not how I want it to come across, but I don't have a better word for it.
Like
But
indie, I guess.
indie, yeah, I guess. Um, 'Cause like you said, you can tell that there was a lot of care that went into this, and like, you know, the emotion was great. The story was good, but it's just, yeah, like, I mean, I'm not expecting every movie to be like a fucking $300 million action film, but it's an indie film. Um, Before we do plum scores, I just want to ask a quick question. Do you think it would like, do you like that you didn't know that the actors were playing themselves going into it and watching it? Or would you have preferred to know that and watched it?
I had an idea that there were people that were in the prison that
Yeah.
acted in this movie. I
Okay.
didn't know they were playing themselves. I didn't know it was a true story. This is probably one of the few times where I wish I knew a little bit more going in. Because,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, Ryan, after the movie, I did read about it and it sheds a whole new light on a lot of the stuff.
Right.
But it's like hard, like, I don't know. I still prefer going into a movie clean just because
Yes. Right.
I don't like having things spoiled. I like experiencing things once in a while, and or sorry, all at once. But it would be hard, right? Because it's like I don't know what information. I'm not going to get the information I perfectly need,
Right. Like it like
before going
just
in.
tell me if the actors are professional actors, but don't tell me anything about the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough. Robbie, any thoughts?
No, same. I would have liked to known that these were the real people playing these parts. You don't have to spoil anything with it. I think it would have definitely affected me differently than going into it
Right.
because again, I'm not an actor. But I was definitely not. I'm not gonna say the word annoyed or not taken aback, but it was like, oh man, I couldn't find somebody better for Divine Eye or something like that. Even though he was good and he came around to me at the end, but in the beginning you could definitely tell that like these weren't not even classically trained, but like you could tell like man, some of these people are they actors? Like, and then you read up on you're like, oh, okay, now I get it. So it would have affected me a little differently.
You know what's funny too, like with Divine Eye, like I thought he was really good. It took me a little bit of warming up, but like the part that when he's like being like thuggish in the beginning with that one guy, that was the part that I didn't feel the realist from
It
him.
didn't ring true. Yeah. No,
Yeah, like and you know what I mean?
that
And like
part.
that's almost supposed to be like who he was. But that kind of thinking about it, that's almost like what um Divine G says in his hearing, where he's like, that's not what acting is. Like acting is you expressing this thing. So like to try to act as, yourself, it's never gonna work right. It's just this completely different thing. So I guess kind of that's not that that was the intention, but it kind of made, it made me think about that line a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I was same thing. Like that part in the beginning, I was like, stinks, but
It was
like, you
like
could
so
tell it was forced.
right.
Yeah. And
And
like you said, it wasn't natural.
that dude he was harassing, um, I forget what his name is now, but like
Divine T.
what's that?
Divine T.
Yeah. Um, no, he's in stuff because my wife was like doing the Leo. I know him. Um, but and she was like, I'm surprised he had such a small part. Um, but whatever. Um, is this him? Yeah. Yeah, he was, I mean, he was in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, one of my, I don't know if I could say my favorites, but I very much enjoy it.
What's his name?
Johnny Simmons.
Oh, shout out Johnny.
Yeah.
Or they say Johnny Sins.
Then I would have been like, I recognize that dick anywhere.
Right away, right away.
Hey, that's that
That
That's
guy.
that doctor, nurse, fireman.
army
Cable
guy.
guy, plumber, pizza delivery man.
Exactly. Chef.
Uh, all right. Anyone want to start with plum scores?
I'll go first. I'm gonna give this one a 9.6. Like
Whoa.
I really
Wow.
I really liked it. I thought, like I said, I mean, it was different. I was really interested in the story. I thought it was shot beautifully. Shout out Pat, obviously. It I enjoy, like I said, I enjoy movies that are different, that take chances, that are telling a story, that subvert your expectations on a lot of different things. And I felt that's what I got out of this. I wasn't expecting these stories. I was kept waiting for like that trope of like a prison, not prison comedy, but prison movie. Like when Divine Eye says like I got the knife on me. Like I expected at some point he was gonna mess. He got his release, but he was gonna. So no, I can't go back to that life. Like this is my home now, and like stab somebody with it, and it never
Right.
happened. And even like he comes to pick up Divine G at the end of the movie, and you tell he turned his life around. It wasn't that, and even when you got that monologue from the guy that gets out and comes back to talk to them, I thought that that was going to scare Divine Eye to be like, yo, he's out and he's not struggling, but it's like, it's all this stuff that I'm
Having a
not ready
tough time,
for
yeah.
and I'm comfortable here. So to see that he got out and seemed like he made something of his life, after all those times where he was talking about, um, how he wasn't cut out for life outside, he didn't think anymore. I loved the way that they just did stuff with Divine G, like, and the way his character played off of I, where like he just kept like undercutting him in not ways that he was even trying to do it. You know what I mean? Like he comes in and he auditions for Hamlet, and it like hit a little bit of a hit to Divine G. Um, he helps him, get all of his paperwork ready to get out, and he gets out. Probably, he's like, you could tell he's not a good model prisoner in the prison. Like he's dealing and doing stuff inside the prison, but he's the one that gets out. And Divine G that's living like this perfect model life, but that affects him and it brings him back in. I don't know, man. I really enjoyed like everything about this movie, and I felt like locked into this movie the whole entire time, like to see where it was going, enjoying all the performance that everybody was giving. I think that I think one of the hardest things to do is act bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and watching the prisoners act bad in the beginning and then like actually seeing their performances get better throughout the film as they're like rehearsing. Like, I thought that that was really impressive from all of these guys. And I don't know, man. I love that they shined a light on a program that did a lot of good for a lot of people. And like you said, there were so many moments where I found myself like doing the exercises when they're like, think about this perfect moment. And I'm like, let me, like kind of do that. And just listening to the stories they all told, we talked about it with A Real Pain. Like the characters felt real to me. And they probably were. A lot of those stories that they were telling probably were the real stories that those guys thought of. So I don't know. I got caught up in it. We had to pause the movie a couple times, but even once we jumped back in, I was right back locked in and was excited to watch this, and I really enjoyed it. I would watch it again. I was bummed. Like I was like, can I? I was bummed that I rented it and didn't just pay the extra $5 to buy it because now I'm like I should have just spent the extra $5 and I could have watched this. I could watch this again.
That's what I did. Like it's
Mhm.
$5. Fuck
I
it.
know. I should have just did it.
Not after this CPI report. Goodness
Yeah,
gracious,
right. Oh my goodness.
you guys are crazy.
Were you ever in like a class or anything like that where they were doing an exercise like that? Like think about something from your past or whatever. I wish I want to do that. Like when they were in the movie, I was like, man, I'd love to do that right now. Just like run through exercise like that. Anytime I did it when I was, a teenager or whatever, I was like, this
Yeah,
is
yeah, like
stupid. I'm not
yeah,
doing this.
yeah.
Whatever. Stupid. Um, Robbie, you want to go? You want me to go?
I can go.
All right.
Um, I did not expect the 9.6. That
No.
blew my
I enjoyed it.
beans off. Um, yeah. I'm not gonna give it that high. I'm not even gonna give it, very high. I thought it was a good movie. The performances are great. Again, the redemption story was great. Loved the way it was shot. Acting was fantastic with some people. A lot of cool parts of the movie that I did love that were very emotional and made you feel for these people. Um, especially hearing some of the stories. Again, it was good, and I want to stick to kind of judging movies by how I feel afterwards and not going too high or too low. So I think it's a slight tick better than A Real Pain. So I will go 7.4.
That is fair. You know what? It's a good. I know we don't like to like compare. Yeah, okay. I agree. I liked it a little bit better than Real Pain. I'm in the same boat as you. I didn't like love it. And I don't know if it's a I don't know. My scale's all over the place. It's hard to describe, but it's it's an indie film, like we said, not amateur, indie that I enjoyed, that I might watch again. But I don't know if I'm ever gonna be like, oh man, be sick, like some popcorn, sweatpants, and Sing Sing. Like I probably won't. Like, but for other movies that we've reviewed, 100%. Like, yeah, you know what I haven't watched in like 6 months? Pulp Fiction. I'm putting it on or whatever. Um, so I'm in kind of in the same boat. I gave it a 7.6. Very enjoyable and definitely a good it's not a star because it's not his first film, but I feel like this is definitely like a springboard for what's his name?
Colman
The
Domingo.
director. No, yeah, Colman Domingo. Um,
Greg Cuter?
yeah, Queter, Cuter,
Cuter?
Queter, whatever.
He was
Um,
in it.
so I'm looking forward to seeing what else he does. Um, so yeah, awesome. I'm glad I watched it for sure. It was very enjoyable. If it wins both things that it was nominated for, I'd say definitely, especially, best actor. Um, Screenplay, sure, I don't even know who the other nominees are, but yeah, give it to him.
I thought that this should have been nominated for more. I mean, it's hard to say. I only really watched one of the other
Yeah,
movies that were up to it, but it just like I said, I don't think that it movies are like this enough. Like I said, I like that it was different in a lot of ways. The storytelling was different, the way it was shot was different. You know, the message of the movie subverted expectations. Like I said, I just really when something gets this much love put into it and it's trying to do something different, like I'm always going to give that extra points.
yeah. Does it? I mean, speaking of the other films, does it? I haven't seen a lot of them, but it feels like a weak class this year,
I,
just based on what I've heard. I don't know.
again, I'm the same. Like I'm basing it on knowing nothing about any of these other movies, but
Right.
like I feel like Brutalist is like probably so like I don't know, like it's trying 3.5 hours for what? Like come on, like I don't think that there's no way that that movie can be that good. Like it's just getting all this hype for something that I don't know. Like what could you really be doing in that movie that makes it that good?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not watching it, so I don't know.
No, never.
No, thank you.
Maybe if Johnny Sins is in it, I'll watch it.
He's
Um,
multi-talented, Johnny Sins.
all right. Do you guys want to do scenes or characters first?
Let's do scenes.
All right. Favorite scenes. Anyone want to start?
Divine Beast, though.
All right.
Divine B.
Um, give me the ending. I loved that that final montage. I actually thought we were gonna get like you kept seeing him in more and more plays, like which is nice. You see, but it's also like the passing of time. Like you're thinking every time you see him in a different play, it's another 6 months, another 6 months, another 6 months, and then you see him that snap cut to him in the cell and it's empty, and he's finally got the small envelope, and it's just like I don't know. I felt like a weight lifted off my shoulder because you've grown to love this character so much, like the way he helps everybody out and just kind of the way he treats everybody. To see him get his justice, I think we don't know for sure if he like even in real life if he was innocent or not, but I don't know. You felt so much for all the good that this man did to get that moment for him and then to have that moment with Divine Eye of him leaving the prison and that those final shots of him with the window open taken in the air and Divine Eye in the background like just letting him have his moment and he's still kind of like smiling because he knows that he went through the same exact thing. So I was expecting to get the little gut punch at the end that he never gets out. And, we always say, like, you don't want the forced happy ending in a movie, but this one felt right. And it was nice to see. And I like the way that they handled it.
Good choice. Um, I, th- Robbie, you want to go? You want me to go?
Yeah, I'll go.
Go ahead.
I have a lot. Not a lot, but I have a few. But I'm gonna go for something that you knew was coming after the bad news that Divine G got. Um, was the play breakdown when he kind of loses it during the play. Sorry,
Damn it. It's okay.
end scene. But it was just just a real. And I love the realness of parts like that within movies because that plays on everybody's expectations who kind of feel like something good might happen. Maybe there's some good news coming around the corner, and then you don't get that good news, and you want to just freak out and snap, but you really can't, or you do it behind closed doors. And here, Divine G kind of had like a little mini breakdown on stage, whether it was the guy messing up his lines and him just kind of freaking out, and then kind of storming off of him, kind of kicking him off with the drama club, and then bringing him back in. But I just enjoyed that because it showed you know the various layers to Colman Domingo's character and how good he is in this movie and how good of an actor he is and what he portrayed in this movie. So again, there's a lot of redemption scenes. There's a lot of good uplifting scenes, that we kind of mentioned already. But this one really showed uh, Colman Domingo's acting chops, and I really love a nice breakdown, and I enjoyed that, and it was my favorite, not my favorite, but it really kind of tied the movie together for me.
Yeah. That was gonna be mine. I love that. Just like seeing the emotion from him. I was wondering, like right after you find out that he's not getting released, I was like, I don't know why. I just was like, if he like fakes it with over the with the dress rehearsal, I feel like that would be disingenuous, and he didn't. So I loved the scene. I mean, I didn't love that he was upset, but that was a great scene. Um, while you were talking, I should have been thinking of a scene I wanted to pick, but I wanted to listen to you.
Thank you. First time
So
ever.
yeah, I didn't interrupt you. How about
Thank you. I
that?
appreciate that. Appreciate it.
New year, new me.
Oh my God, I love it.
I'm gonna go with the scene where Divine G and Mike are talking, um, about stuff, and then again, not that I enjoyed what happened, but it was a great scene because it was a huge gut punch when he was just like, Mike, you wake, like fall asleep on me, and the next morning. And they're like wrapping up his bedroom. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? And then you find out he passed away. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. That was wild. I mean, again, not a happy scene by any means, but a great scene. Just the juxtaposition between
There we
such a
go.
nice conversation and then just such a horrible thing to happen. Um, because like I felt like before that conversation, Mike was kind of portrayed as like, the class clown, like the comic relief, like that kind of thing. And then, just like every other, well, not every clown, but most people who are, fun loving and jokey and whatever, do have actual personalities and have feelings and all that stuff. So it's nice to see that because often in films you don't get that. It's just they're the comic relief and that's all they are. So great scene, sad scene, but great scene.
I like too that he again subverting the expectation of like the prison movie and not going with the tropes where he didn't kill himself. He didn't like it was like just this freak thing.
It was his time. Yeah.
Yeah, and and again that's all part of the stuff that is like just getting piled up on Divine G, and it seems like the span of like a week and a half, where,
Right.
like all this stuff is happening. The guy, that seems like that they had a really good relationship and kind of kept it light for each other, and I'm sure not that he would have been happy that he would have been staying in prison, but to like lose, somebody that you're really close with and get that news at the same time, it's like now I don't even have this guy with me to
To
like help
like
me get
lean
through
on,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough. Um, Ani Menches.
Mine is the you want to go?
No.
Oh, the mic's not working. Mine is the get back together scene with Divine I and Divine G in the yard. Um, I loved, the seriousness, and then they cut it with that kind of, that joke that they share between the two of them, where it's like, you got that one condition. At least you gotta acknowledge that I nailed the shit out of that the to be or not to be speech, and it just it cuts the tension, and it shows that they like I don't know, maybe it was just me, but I was expecting for the eventual blowout between the two of them, and like something to happen at some point where they got into a fight or they hated each other and it ruined the show or anything like that. So, but to see their relationship actually grow and Divine and I actually like buy in, like that was kind of the cherry on top of that, really like locked in, Robbie likes to say the redemption arc for Divine Eye, and just to see that relationship kind of fully bloom.
Yeah. Yeah, like that one scene between them two, after Divine G has his blow up and he's like all pissed off, putting stacking chairs. Or maybe I don't know if that was that blow up, but he's stacking chairs, he's all pissed off. After Mike dies.
Yeah.
And Divine I comes over and I was expecting there to be like an altercation or like something, and it just showed like how their relationship had evolved and progressed to like just be like, all right, like I'm here if
Yeah.
you need me, like, and that's, I feel like, true friendship, like, friends argue whatever, um but to just be like, all right, I'll give you space and
Well,
then we'll talk
Divine
more.
Eye has those two moments. It's that one where like
Yeah.
you can tell that he matured, and then when like Divine G like ready to throw hands
Yeah.
at the dress rehearsal
Yeah.
during the blow up, and Divine Eye doesn't bite.
Right.
He doesn't let it happen. He just kind of steps back and lets him kind of have his meltdown. So again, I felt like they set it up so many times for him to like blow up and go back on all the progress that he made, and he never did. And
Yeah.
that's just I kind of like that they didn't. they didn't do that. Like he actually matured and his character, he actually became, a better person.
Yeah. No, and I hate using the phrase because all it makes me think of is those two idiots with Game of Thrones, but those types of things did subvert your expectations because you're going in expecting, how many prison movies have we seen where there's always a fight, there's always, certain things, and there really wasn't in
No
this
one got
movie
thrown in
like
the
at all.
hole for a month in this movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It all stops. Nothing stops. Give it another month to think about it. Um, Benny, I'm sorry, Robbie, any mentions?
Yeah, I'll go with again them going around, just sitting around and talking about the things that they kind of love on the outside. Um, I find that stuff so great because it's the little things that people kind of take for granted that these people wish that they can go back to do. Whether it's just mowing the lawn on a hot day and having your dog come over there and lick the sweat off your face. That little thing like that you're missing. I do love scenes like that, and I do love the little things in life that we all take for granted, but people in prison would just love to have one day do. Simple things, mowing the lawn, doing something different. I just love those kind of scenes, and everybody just was great. I don't know who the hell wasn't an actor or who was an actor, and I'll get to it in my favorite characters because there were some people in there who had little bit parts that were truly fantastic that I loved. I couldn't find these people's names, so I don't even know if they're real actors or not. But yeah, give me that scene. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah. I'll say just generally any scene that had um exercises and what's his name, Paul Raci, like, doing stuff with
Best.
them acting wise, put it as an honorary mention for me because I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
like
audition was great.
Yeah.
yeah. I like the scene of Divine I and Divine G out on the hill when they're talking when he like convinces him when he convinces Divine I to actually put in for
To like
his
let him
parole.
help him.
Yeah, I liked not only again the way it was shot was really nice, and then just that conversation, and he's like, "Well, what if I don't get it?" And he's like, "Well, then you do it again and again and again and again," and I was expecting that moment to come back to Divine G with like Divine I being like, "Well, you're gonna do it again and again and again and again." They didn't fall back on that, so it was just that nice moment between the two of them, and it just kind of left it at that. And again, just something I enjoyed.
Fair. Any other honorary mentions anyone wants to call out?
No,
All right. Least favorite scene. Oh, that's me, right? I went last. Um,
yeah.
I'm actually good. There wasn't a lot of least favorite scenes. Like I did truly enjoy most of the movie. Um, so I will say my least favorite scene was the absence of, I would say, a scene. And I would have liked to have seen at least a little more of the play. I felt like they kind of just glazed over it like quickly. And that was probably intentional. It's hard to create a play. So for them to just have like a couple quick like little scenes, little hitters, especially with uh the theme or the plot of time travel, all these historical things is probably hard to do. So I kind of get why they did it. But I would have liked to have seen, you know, a little more.
Sure. My
Yeah.
uh, I didn't have a lot of least favorite scenes. Usually, I go to my basically forte and picks a sad scene or something like that. But I'm not going to. I'm gonna pick um basically the introduction to Divine Eye that we talked about in the beginning with him trying to be that forced tough guy. Didn't come natural. Um, I just thought like, oh man, here we go. I'm gonna have to watch this guy for another an hour and 45 minutes, and I said it's gonna take me right out of the movie. And in the beginning, he kind of did, but he gradually got better as an actor in this movie. And by the end, he was basically a full-fledged actor, and it was just I don't know, it was a testament to him. It was crazy the arc of how he looked like a shitty actor, and then gradually through the movie he became like a full blown, pretty decent actor. Uh, because I would have been completely out of the movie with him. Uh, being that the first guy I saw in scene, like his first actual scene, because it was like I can't deal with this fake tough guy act. It took me right out, but he redeemed himself. So I enjoyed that. I mean, I didn't enjoy that scene, but I enjoyed his character.
Hard
Good
for me to
call.
pick. Hard for me to pick with a 9.6. I mean, like that really means like there wasn't much in here I didn't like. Um, so I'll go with like the emotional least favorite, and it's the inner Divine G's Clemency interview, just because of that somebody that's just going through the motions and is jaded by their job and is just like looking to pick him apart for any reason. And just that one question. And again, it's like it could almost be a favorite scene just because of the reaction from Colman Domingo when he gets asked, are you acting now? And like just the way he turns and the way his emotions turn and he answers that question is just so good. But yeah, give me that as my least favorite scene because I hate the jaded parole clemency officers talking to him, and then that thick envelope is coming.
Yeah, good call. Any honorable mentions?
I was gonna say Mike's death. I mean, that was a tough one, unexpected, but yeah, no, at least not because of a terrible scene, but it was sad.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I don't really have much either.
I'm struggling to pick some.
Yeah. All right, so let's do characters. You guys want to do least favorite first?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Who wants to start?
I'm gonna go. I can go.
Yeah.
I can go. There's
Go
not a
ahead.
lot of, I don't have a lot of least favorite characters, but give me the guy on the radio telling his coworker to not be late for lunch after Mike's death. Just the absolute disregard for human life. I mean,
Right?
what a piece of shit. That irked me so bad. I was so fucking angry when I heard that dialogue because it's just like that's just how it is. It's nobody gives a shit. You just except for the people that you're close to and that love you. It's like this guy's in prison. Who cares? He's dead. Let's get a couple of sloppy joes. It's just life, and that's how it goes. You die in prison, they don't care. You die, and next day your job posts your position, and that's just how it is, and nobody cares. So that guy really irked the shit. And I wish somebody would put a nightstick up his ass or something like that. But what can you do?
Yeah, I mean, you said it, but I was gonna say like that's just how it is in real life, and that's to me again another thing that this movie does so well is that like that's the heartless uh corrections officer. It's not it's not the over the top just guy that just is swinging at his nightclub at everybody and beating the shit out of everybody because that in some ways, yeah, maybe it happens, but it's not as prevalent as it seems in the movies. Like that is what makes them shitty people sometimes. It's the complete callousness that they treat these people with. And do some of them deserve it? Yeah, maybe, but you know, it's that jadedness that the character has in that scene that just makes you want to be like, dude, come on, man, it's so fucked up.
Yeah, like this guy's cleaning out the cell. Like you can wait
But
and
yeah,
just shut up.
Yeah, chill out. But yeah, it's kind of like the same thing as the clemency officer. It's just like, they're not humans, they're just cases.
yep.
Like, you know what I
Not my
mean? So
first,
it's
not
like,
gonna be my last.
right, yeah. They're gonna clean tons of bedrooms, sad, uh, or cells, and that crew is gonna go through tons of clemency hearings, and it's just the case. Sad. Um, I'll go least favorite character. I'm gonna go with Johnny Sins, Johnny Simmons.
I was
Um,
gonna pick him.
it's a shame. Um, just because, yeah, I don't know. Like you said about Divine Eye, like it was a little rough from him, and then he got better. We didn't really see um whatever his name is in the movie, Johnny Simmons. I'll just call him Young Neil because that's what his name is in Scott Pilgrim. So we see young Neil trying to pass off some whatever powder as drugs. And yeah, it was just, I don't know, the whole scene was kind of like from both sides, not great. And I mean, what are you trying to do? Trying to scam our boy out of $500? Come
How
on,
dare you?
how dare you?
Nice. Nice.
Um, I'm gonna go with a joke pick here because I mean, the cast is so small and there's no one I could say that was really bad or that annoyed me. So I'm gonna go with just because Paul Raci for making me think that he was discount Keith Carradine for the first half of the movie. But that's it. I mean, he wasn't bad in any way, and I did not like him. He was great, but
How dare you?
he just reminded me of Keith Carradine.
David?
David. Keith is his brother.
Keith?
Yeah.
Keith's still alive, right? David,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
look out.
Yeah.
Look out.
Is he on the Padres too? Who's this?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
No, Keith is he was in Dexter. He was Lundy. I don't know if you watched Dexter.
I watched a little bit of it, not enough to know who you're talking about.
Crocodile Dundee.
Um, any Ani mentions for least favorite character?
I mean, not really. No. I mean, I couldn't really find anybody.
I will say early on, for the first just like couple minutes, I was not a huge fan of Divine G. I thought he was full of himself, like he was a hotshot. Then, of course, I loved him, but for a few minutes, least favorite.
Could have been. That's how I felt about Divine Eye at the beginning.
Same, yeah. Couple people, yeah.
Not because he was full of himself, but just I was like, this guy's gonna be like try hard in this movie, and I'm not here for it.
Not about that.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so Benny, kick us off with favorite characters.
Um, I'll go with Divine Eye. I'll leave chalk on the table here, just because, like I said, I mean the progression of the character was fantastic. Was not expecting what we got out of him. When I found out that he played himself, like wow, like that's insane. I didn't like I thought he was an actor on some level. Um, when you get that moment of him actually nailing the to be or not to be speech, like there's so many emotions because like you could tell he's finally bought in. You could tell like he's finally one of the group and how much that they celebrate with him. It's just such a great moment in the movie. Um, and then just the friendship that builds between him and Divine Gene. I mentioned it earlier, that last scene of the movie when he comes to pick him up and he's there after Divine G did all those things to take care of him. Like he's the one that's gonna help him out now. He's gonna help out Divine G now that he's out. So just that whole character arc from Divine Eye and the way that he is too cool for school, but and in a way you kind of feel like that it might be a little forced because they went after him to be in the RTA for a reason. When they go talk to him the first time, he's quoting, I think it was King Lear. So like, he likes this stuff in a way, but he just can't let go and like not be hard. Uh, and just watching him come out of his shell and then get bought into the acting. I should have mentioned the Ani mentioned the scenes where, uh, they tell him to come walk out on the stage as Macbeth. And he comes out and he finally gets that release of like I own this motherfucking stage, and everybody's like kind of like cheering him on and stuff like that. It was just there were so many cool moments with him, and I was expecting to hate the character. I was expecting to not that something was going to go wrong with him, and he was going to have like not a tragic end, but just like a the typical prison end for his character, and we didn't get that. So I really enjoyed him, and he was probably one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Good call. Um, if you're gonna leave him on the table, I'm gonna take uh Domingo Coleman. I'm sorry, Colman Domingo.
God.
As Divine G. I mean, we said it a number of times. He was fantastic in this film. I mean, you do definitely get, a little emotional about this character, and it's greatly upsetting when he doesn't get out. Again, you're basing this off of the facts that you're told that he is completely innocent, and so that's what I'm going off of, because that's terribly troubling that he spent how long, in prison for something he didn't do. So you really feel for him, and it's very, it's very happy when he does finally get out. But yeah, he again, I haven't seen probably many of the other actors or the films that the best actor was nominated in, but I mean, I have to imagine he's a heavy favorite here. So
I think one of the other actors slash ex inmates too got like his case thrown out, and he was in prison for something that he didn't do as well. So
really,
it's just, I mean, they don't really go into it that much in the movie, but it's just such like a, when you hear about all these stories about people that are in prison for stuff that they didn't do or stuff that just trumped up charges, that's, and I don't want to get into the whole political thing here. I mean, that's what you guys do on Going Gray now with he said, shout out every Monday. Um,
Shut up.
but you see these people that get off for when you know that they're dead for to rights on what they do, and there are people that just spend their whole life or the best years of their life in prison for something that they didn't do or you know
it's
wasn't
horrible.
as bad as it was made out to be. So just for them to like find that a way to actually make the best of the situation that they're in, I think is what this movie does such a good job of kind of showing you.
Yeah. Um, Robbie?
Please, thank God he's on the board. I love him to death. Uh, Paul Raci as Brett Buell. I mean, forget about it. If you, like I said, if you ever seen The Sound of Metal, I mean, what a performance by Paul Raci. But this movie, the same thing. Just your, I guess, quote unquote, acting coach, life coach, prison coach. Your typical prison inmate who's there to, be the leader or something. He just, whatever.
I was just trying to, I think your mic's out.
We can hear you,
We
but
can
it's
hear you, but it's the MacBook uh mic.
Shout out these tariffs. Already starting. Can you hear me now?
better.
Yeah, we could hear you. It's just it's not this
I don't
mic,
know
it's
what's
the
going on.
computer. Oh wait, you back?
Something's wrong. Whatever. Let me just speak. I'll speak
Yeah,
for a bit.
whatever. It
Anyway,
is what it
Paul Raci, the young king. I mean, we love Paul Raci in this household. I mean, it's a Paul Raci household. It always will be. So no, love him. Great. He's one of the best actors in this movie. I love a nice acting coach or a coach who's there to help all the inmates. Getting back to one specific scene with him that I really loved, and it wasn't nothing major, but the scene when he's like kind of like pushing Divine Eye, and you're like, oh my God, Divine's gonna just fucking stab this guy to death,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh man, I don't want to see that, and then he just like, I'm thinking like, oh, he's walking over to him now, he's gonna just fucking do something bad to him, but he doesn't. He shows restraint, and just that was one of my favorite scenes in the movie as well. And so yeah, Paul Raci, shout out, great to see him. Um, Happy for him. Last time I saw him was Sound of Metal, which he did get nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah.
I liked when they were figuring out the lighting, and Mike's like, all right, step to the left a little bit, and Divine was like, nah, no, my blocking's right here though, and then you just hear Paul Raci's like, all right, we'll move the blocking, we're gonna move it.
um, Honey Matches.
Was his least favorite or favorite?
Favorite.
Give me Mike. He was another one that I thought I was gonna be like, all right, he's gonna be this guy like always chimes in and like, all right, we get it, like the Joker of the group, but like you mentioned, Ryan, like that development of his character that we ultimately get, and Robbie, you mentioned with the scenes of them all talking about the things that they missed, and the story that he told about how he doesn't really have anything, and like this is his happy place because he actually gets to be, you know, he gets to have an outlet and all that kind of stuff. So I just thought, again, you know, the character development in this movie was really good, and you go from this ragtag group of people that you thought are like bad actors, especially after all the um, auditions, to like learning a little bit about each one of the characters. So, you know, I thought Mike was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, good call. I think this is the guy who I'm thinking it is, but Sean Dino Johnson, was he? I don't know if you guys will know, but the dude that when Divine Eye was like kind of getting like all pissed off on stage when they were trying to give him notes, and he gave him like this short little speech of like, dude, like we're in here.
Yeah.
You got to let that anger go. And something about that little speech, like I got like a little choked up because I was just like, God damn, like that's some real shit, you
Yeah.
know?
Like this is all we have. Like
This is all we have.
don't
Like,
ruin it
yeah,
for
yeah.
us. Don't ruin because like the last like again, you know, I keep going back to this point of him doing something crazy or like getting into a fight, and then the next thing you know, that whole program is gone for everybody.
Right, for everyone. Yep.
So yeah, that you're right. That was such a great little, you know, moment that Dino had.
Robbie, any
I
other
don't.
mentions?
I didn't know who the like the older, the plug in, plug out for my microphone. So I'm back. I don't know who the older white gentleman was. I think with
Carmine.
the missing tooth,
Tattoos or no tattoos?
Yeah,
not the
Carmine.
tattoos. Fantastic. Really fantastic. I don't know if he was an actual actor. I couldn't find him anywhere. Maybe I wasn't looking too hard, but I just enjoyed his performance. I enjoyed him when he was doing his audition, and I just enjoyed him throughout the entire movie and the parts that he played. It was really, really good. Did a good job. Surprised me.
Good choice. Yeah, I mean, I don't Benny, do you or Robbie, do you have any more? Because I was just gonna kind of give a blanket Ani Mensch to the group, but
No, go ahead, give the blanket.
yeah, I mean, honestly, like pretty much everyone that we were introduced to, um, besides our, maybe some minor complaints here or there, overall is enjoyable. Um, everyone in the group, um, the guy they brought in to talk to him, that was used to be in the in all the plays. I don't know, pretty much everyone I met, was enjoyable. Like I was interested in their character and interested in where they were going. Like I said it before that again, like it felt, a little indie, amateurish, whatever. And like to some extent, like it did, but it did also feel real. Like it was because it was real people acting. And I did like that. So, uh,
Well said.
yeah. Um, oh wow, is it game time already?
It's game time, but I don't know
Oh,
if we have a. I don't know if I have a way going tonight, Frank Tahiti. Do we? Do you guys have one?
mm, I got one.
Okay, so we're gonna do an abbreviated. Way going tonight, Frank Tahiti. It's a game we like to play based on Christopher Walken's character in Catch Me If You Can, where he asks his son, "Where you going tonight, Frank Tahiti?" It's a little moment in the movie that it's a little pop culture reference or something just kind of stuck out to us that was a little bit unbelievable, or we just wanted to give a random shout out that doesn't fit in any of our other characters. So I don't have one. So Ryan, start us off with our "Where you going tonight, Frank Tahiti?"
My way going, Frank, tonight to 80.
Where you going tonight, Frank Tahiti?
Okay, I can't remember anything.
Eh.
Is when we get a shot of Divine Eye cell, and he has just absolute piles of
Oh yeah.
canned food and like toilet paper and stuff like that. And I was like, oh damn, this guy is he is an economy in this place. He's not a businessman. He's a businessman.
You know what's funny? Like now that you mentioned as like him being a business, I was like, "What, bro? You got 4 loaves of bread. That shit's gonna go bad in like a week. Like, what are you doing with all this bread?"
Right.
I went on like a mental tangent. I'm like, "Is he eating the bread that's moldy? Like, what's going on? Like, what is he doing with all the bread? But
Feeding
he's probably selling
birds.
it, probably trading it."
Probably trade. So,
Brooks was
I
there
mean,
feeding birds.
yeah. It like if you are trying to shake down a fellow inmate for $500, that's a
That's a
I
lot
mean,
of
that's a
money
lot of scratch.
in
That's a
prison. Yeah,
lot of drugs.
yeah,
Even outside or inside. Either
yeah. They're
way.
they're trading stuff for like 5, 10 cents in prison.
Yeah. I mean, who knows now? Inflation. I mean, like Robbie
True.
said before, tariffs, etc.
True. This movie was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
It's true.
Um, Robbie, you got one or
I don't know. My way of going tonight, Frank Tahiti, is everybody in prison who would like to just be anywhere else not in prison, and maybe in Tahiti. So my way of going tonight, Frank Tahiti, is giving one-way tickets to everybody in prison who didn't commit any crimes to Tahiti. Enjoy yourselves. It's on me.
How nice of you.
This is budget I got from this movie, for this podcast. Big budge.
yeah. Oh, I thought you said big bulge when I was like, yeah, that's true.
That's true. That is true. That's the only thing that's true.
Robbie sins.
Bobby Bulge.
Um, our second and most popular game is Working Overtime with Matt Damon, where we cast Matt Damon in a role that exists or one that we make up because for some weird reason we like Matt Damon. Um,
Not weird at
Weird.
all.
It's not
no, it's
weird.
not weird.
Not
Yeah,
weird at all.
yeah.
Matty Day.
Did you guys see that Super Bowl commercial with them?
With the beard, please, and my plums almost exploded.
Oh my God. I wish you would have touched down in my pants.
The only moment I enjoyed the whole night.
True.
Fairly accurate. Um,
I said, "Is that Let the Boys Watch? Is Matt Damon on screen right now?"
yeah, right. You mean like Let the Boys Watch famous? Um, would anyone like to start?
All right, I'll fill the blank in.
Do it.
Uh, Give me Matt Damon, a shaved head, tattooed, young Matt Damon as Scotty from Eurotrip that's in prison now. And he comes in and he joins the RTA to lead them in a musical number called Divine Eye Doesn't Know. And it's a song about where the drugs actually are. So give me Matt Damon reprising his role as Scotty.
It's a good choice. Uh, give me a middle-aged, filthy, grimy piece of shit Matt Damon as I didn't come up with a name. Whatever. Ben Damon. Uh Frank Damon. I don't know who gives a shit. But give me Matt Damon as just an absolute piece of crap in solitary confinement. You only see him once or twice in this film, and it's solely because I desperately want to see Matt Damon in a role where he's played pieces of shit before, Departed, uh, the one on fucking
Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Interstellar, thank you. Um,
Martian.
but like no, like an
Real dick in that
absolute
movie.
what's that?
Real dick in The Martian.
Yeah, whatever. Fucking potatoes. Uh just you never see him as like a really evil dude. And that's what I want to say.
Villain.
Just I mean, we don't have to go into what crimes he committed, but you know it was bad.
Then when they walk him through like the cafeteria, everybody stops and they just follow like they just follow him across.
And then everyone
Cosmetic
talks again
violence.
once he leaves. Robbie.
Yeah, I'll play off the both of these. Give me middle-aged, still buff, still tough, still rough around the edges. Uh, Give me Matt Damon as Will Hunting, who never turned his life around, who goes back to prison after he came back from California. He's divorced. He had a, he's upset that his mentor has now passed away. Shout out Robert Williams. And now he's back in jail for a crime that he committed. He just, aggravated assault. He was pissed off one night, drunk one night, and he comes in there and it's a redemption story. He works with Divine I and Divine G before they get out, and they put on a play about this young kid from Boston who turns his life around, dude, thanks to his therapist. And yeah, and the play's called Good Will Hunting.
Love it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Matty Bones.
Matty Bones. Anything else you guys want to say about Sing Sing?
Loved it, obviously. But
Pretty days.
yeah, I mean, I wish I wish I knew more movies that kind of were like this, or a little bit easier to find, where it's just something completely different and kind of out there, and not what you're expecting from the typical setting or story that they're telling. Because that I'm kind of finding like those are the types of movies that I like, and not necessarily on Sing Sing in general, but like I feel like every movie we did this year so far has been like not a lot of action. It's just been kind of like a lot of talking. So
Not talking.
maybe we need to. We'll see what you guys pick for
Look
the
who's
next
talking.
2 weeks as your birthday picks. But yeah, we got some I think Hollywood blockbusters in our future to change up the pace a little bit.
Yeah. Robbie, have you decided? Not that you need to announce it now, but have you decided yet?
I did. I can announce it now if you want.
It's up to you. It's your pick.
I mean, hey, they stayed all the way till the end. Let's reward them.
Oh, please. It's Martin Scorsese's 2013 fantastic film, The Wolf of Wall Street.
Pull the trigger.
He did it.
It's pulled, locked, cocked, and pulled.
Ready to unload.
3
All right.
hours of pure bliss.
I'm excited. I don't know how. Might have to start it tonight, but
Sorry, but it was between a few. It was between this and Goodfellas and something else.
All right.
Or maybe Good Will Hunting. But
Oh,
it's one out. It's one out.
you know what? This does give me. It does affect my choice.
Okay.
T&E.
T&E. You know what? We could probably just do it right now. We don't even have to watch it.
Yeah, I got everything lined up anyway. I don't have to watch it again.
All right. Well, join us next week for Wolf of Wall Street for Robbie's pick. So that'll be fun. I don't know. Hopefully, you saw Sing Sing, and you have some opinions on it. Let us know what you thought. I don't know. Send us a message. Follow us on all the things. We love you. And we especially love Domingo Colman.
Great catch for the Padres.
Robbie, tell him good night.
Good night to my last week in my 20s.
No disrespect, Colman Domingo. I mean, no disrespect.
Little disrespect.
Listen,
You disrespect him a little bit.
I'm nervous. I hate hearing myself talk. I hate seeing myself on the Zoom screen. I'm just trying to get through the day here.
My wife said no, Gabriel,
Same,
leave.
that was my
I said
job.
no. Let the boy watch.
Happy birthday.
Let
Fuck.
the boy watch. He needs to learn the way I learned from my father. The way he learned from his father. Let